Do you remember where you were on September 11th, 2001? Do you remember what you were doing? Do you remember watching the TV, not knowing what was going on, seeing images of people in distress while a plane crashed into one of the Twin Towers on live TV? I remember. I was laying on the couch, 6 months pregnant with my first son, when I saw that plane crash into the second tower. I had no clue what just happened. I was scared, terrified, and confused. Terrorism is an issue that all countries face in the 21st century that must be stopped by not supporting terrorists themselves. Terrorism has been around for years, and it changes as our political world changes. The Washington Blog 2015 agrees with this when it is written, "The causes of terrorism seem almost impossible for anyone to define. Here's why. They change over time. Listen to terrorists in different periods and you'll hear different explanations. Then listen to the scholars who explain terrorism. Their ideas change over time too, as new trends in academic thinking take hold. Terrorists exploit human fear because they do not believe in what others do, like politics. They go to extremes by committing planned acts of crime that affect many individuals around the world." Again, the Washington Blog 2015 backs this up when they write, "Both terrorists and terrorism explainers are influenced by dominant trends in political and scholarly thought. Terrorists, people who threaten or use violence against civilians with the hope of changing the status quo, perceive the status quo in ways that accord with the era they live in." So you think that terrorism has no effect on politics or government. It has been shown to affect who voters vote for. I think we saw this during the recent election where voters voted for Trump due to illegal issues around foreign politics with Clinton. So the question is, how do we stop terrorism? We need to stop supporting terrorists in order to stop the terrorism we have seen over the years. We do this by not supporting ISIS by getting oil mostly from Saudi Arabia. It is believed that we can only get our oil from the Middle East. However, this is not true. In an article written by Randy Olson, 2014, the U.S. only imports 40% of the oil it uses. The other 60% is produced in the U.S. See, we get half of our oil from our own country. Another way to stop supporting terrorism is by not overrunning the Middle East leaders and their countries for their oil. In an article written by Layla Essam, an Iranian journalist, she writes, "A senior officer on the Joint Staff told State Department Counterterrorism Director Sheehan he had heard terrorist strikes characterized more than once by colleagues as a small price for being a superpower. We should not be part of this. We need to stop the attacks and stop supporting the terrorism." So you might argue again that we still get our oil from the Middle East. But in Olson's 2014 article, he states that we get half of our oil from North and South America. So we could increase this number to 100% and not deal with the Middle East, creating less conflict amongst us and the Middle East. This could also improve our job and economy. Terrorism not only affects lives of innocent individuals, it also affects the world in a whole. So you see how politics can be affected by terrorism and how terrorism can affect politics. We cannot continue to keep supporting these terrorists by getting our oil from terrorist countries. We must put a stop to terrorism around the world. Thank you.